And that's why I'm running for president. Say a few words. The most interesting thing was pulling up here, and the guy at the front door, he's like, man, I remember when you used to play it out here about 10 years ago, right? Here on the street with your little beat-up acoustic guitar, and we used to have conversations. And that was probably the highlight of coming here, was just to see a familiar face that caught this thing while it was happening on the streets, in the streets of Oakland, the Bay Area. The giver of dreams. I remember walking around with that guitar, just dreaming of something bigger than I was. It was the first time in my life that I didn't want anything. And that's what made the journey of Fantastic Negrito so interesting, is that I came back home to the Bay Area. I wanted to be a polygamist and a weed farmer. Yeah. So I failed miserably as being a polygamist. But I was successful at being a weed farmer. And I quit playing music for about 5 years. I just was done. The music industry defeated me. It beat me. And it beat me because I wanted what it had. And that's a very important message. If you don't want what it has, it's gonna happen, baby. That's really the key, is to not want all this useless stuff, is how I categorize it. But so I look at it as everything and everyone is my teacher. Good stuff, most of the bad stuff is probably, has anybody been on tour with me? No, they didn't come. So yeah, most of the bad stuff can be the finest teachers. So this album was tough to make. Probably the last song, a couple of songs made me cry, which is tough, when you're the 8th of 14 kids. Well, 15 now, actually. Ancestry.com. This was a journey because I found out that my dad was a liar, pretty good liar. And I wanted to call this album A Man and His Penis. But my business manager said, you just wrote White Jesus Black Problems. I think people need a break. It's true, but I did want to call it that because I thought, wow, my dad, wow, he was born in 1905. And when I used to go out with him, people thought he was my grandfather. And my mother was 33 years younger than him. And the pain of this story is that, from what I could put together, is that my dad was introducing his son to my mother. So I want you to go home and think about that. And so I found out I had a brother in his 80s. So this was a lot. Someone just walked up to me and said, I like how you peel back layers. And I almost spit my drink out because, there's so many layers to this story. But I think in the end, it's really all of our story, because most of us are full of shit. And that's a lot of what my dad was. And so I try to not be full of shit. And when I wrote Son of a Broken Man, I am the son of a broken man. I'm probably the most damaged, fragile person in this room. But the power in that is that I recognize it. And I know that I have a lot of work to do and a lot of apologies to issue out all the time. And I'm just trying to break the generational trauma without passing on to you, your kids, or my kids. And that's kind of what Son of a Broken Man is about. And thank you for coming out. And I got to go to Brazil on Monday, and I'll be back in December. So, thank you. And I want to thank Community Bank of the Bay. Ever since I did that famous speech at the Grammys, people love that speech to this day. Now, it just came off the top of my head. It's like, I wanted to thank Community Bank of the Bay because they gave me some credit my credit score was terrible. They're like, the president likes your album. I'm like, well, so they did give me my first line of credit ever. Well, credit in a building. I've had other credit. I was on the streets a long time ago. Yeah, and so it's been a very strange, interesting, but loving and sincere relationship that I have with a bank. It's very odd. But I did always appreciate that they took a chance and helped me get a lot of what I was doing off the ground, because it's cool to be an artist and have a cool jacket, but you gotta make money.
Hell yes.
You gotta pay the band. And my accountant just told me the other day, you know, you just spent $60,000 on airfare just in this year. And I was like, that's amazing. You know, that it costs so much to do this, but it is a life worth living, being self-produced. Life worth living. It really is. And self-financed, self-managed, but a little bit selfish too. But I know that the biggest teacher is that none of it happens without the guy who is working at the front door. It's like, I saw you on the street, gave you a couple bucks, you were playing. I mean, it takes the support of every single person in the village, no matter what you believe in, no matter what you aspire to be or not to be, or your political affiliation. That the beautiful thing about art and music is that you can rock all those people, you know, under one roof. So we all need each other. Over there, someone was asking me some deep, profound question that was probably meaningless, but the answer was good, was that I learned to live for other people. And that's what a recovering narcissist does. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Helen. I really want to thank Helen.
That's like the ultimate mic drop, right?
No, seriously. Give Helen a round of applause. She is a magical connector. That's what I call it.
Thank you, X. I just wanted a housekeeping reminder that last call is at 5.